Terra's CEO Kwon, who gave an hour-long interview in a new NFTV series prepared by Coinage, made surprising statements. According to estimates, the Terra crisis, in which approximately $40 billion of damage was incurred and thousands of users were victimized, affected many linked exchanges such as Voyager Digital and Celsius, and started a domino destruction in the crypto money community. After this widespread destruction, authorities banned the Terra CEO and authorized developers at the company from leaving the country and raided the crypto exchange. Kwon has been prosecuted in both South Korea and the United States. Kwon managed to surprise us with his statements. Kwon, the creator of Terra Luna, which collapsed at the beginning of May, went in front of the cameras about 3 months after the crisis and made important words. Stating that there was no possibility for him to collapse a project worth $100 billion, Kwon said, "When I look back, I realize how unreasonable it was to think about it." However, the information conveyed by the CEO shows that the behind-the-scenes development of the event is much more complicated than what is seen from the outside. Speaking from his current residence in Singapore, CEO Kwon said in a statement that South Korean investigators have not made any contact with him about the Terra collapse. Expressing that he did not think about a possible decline scenario during the ascension period, Kwon said, "I never thought of Luna's collapse." When the host asked Kwon for his thoughts on his earlier arrogant statements, Kwon replied, "Yes, but algorithmic stablecoins are starting to become the industry standard. I made a big bet on Terra, but I lost." Made statements. Kwon, the creator of the system, made important statements about the Terra Luna collapse, where hundreds of thousands of people were victims and lawsuits and investigations were opened in South Korea and the USA. In a detailed interview for the first time in months after the collapse, Kwon stated that he was in his country in the first days and did not run away. Stating that there were no investigations regarding Terra Luna under his travel to Singapore, Kwon stated that he did not leave Seoul after the collapse. Kwon put it this way, "After the collapse, I did not leave Seoul and go to Singapore. There were some threats against my family and these I had to deal with. So it's clear when I left the country. I'm undecided about returning, but it has nothing to do with the investigations. If I decide to come back, it will still not be about investigations." In an interview with NFTV on behalf of the Coinage platform, Kwon also clarified the investigations and the fact that he did not go to testify, and used the following statements. "What we're going to do is not think about what we're going to face. We're going to think about how we're going to face it. The key here is to be honest and put up with whatever the consequences are. No one from the authorities called me after the collapse. They did not reach me. As I said before, I did not flee to Singapore because of lawsuits or investigations. No one reached me." Saying that he never thought that the Terra Luna system would collapse, Kwon also touched upon the conspiracy theories about short selling. Put yourself in a founder's shoes. Your project is progressing with a value of more than $100 billion. After you've accomplished so many things, you don't think you're going to lose after a series of victories. I never thought Terra Luna would crash either. I didn't really think for a minute, what if Terra collapses, but when I look back I see that it was extremely illogical. If there is a loophole in the system for short selling and someone is profiting from it, it's just my fault. I am the only one responsible here." This interview is actually the indicator of the most important thing. By showing this courage, Kwon gave the message that I am here and I am not going anywhere. This is extremely important for the future of Terra Luna Classic. Could it be the footsteps of the resurgence of a cryptocurrency that seems to be over? Of course, it's too early to tell. We should follow the developments closely and make a statement accordingly. But we can say that this is a good start. We think it explains the reasons for the collapse well. Even if it doesn't address the issue of burns, this is a great start to the Terra Luna Classic. Token burning will take place. This is a very important issue. However, Kwon did not address this issue during the interview. Many media outlets want to interview Kwon. Maybe if he participates in other interviews, he can touch on the burning issue. While he hasn't touched on this yet, we may see a clarification on this in the future. Touching on the order of decline day by day, Kwon said that with the decrease in the price to 15 cents, the ruptures in the management began. He also stated that he foresees that the problem can be resolved even if he has some disagreements with the administration. If the conflict between society and management ends, then we can see a serious rise in Terra Luna Classic. Do you know? Kwon's daughter's name is also Luna. During the interview, Kwon also said that he would not change his daughter's name. And he continued, "I think what I'm going to spend time on in the next 20 years will be more meaningful than what's happened in the last 6 weeks." Yes, Terra Luna Classic continues to surprise us every day. While this is not complete, this is a positive development for the cryptocurrency. We don't know what will happen in the future. However, we would like you to know that we follow all developments closely. You can subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to be instantly informed about the latest news. Thank you for watching us. We hope everything in this life turns out as you wish.